Okay, so it's Cat Stanley Space Demon coming at you again. And in 1978, each individual member of the hard rock group Kiss released a solo album. In an unprecedented move, never before seen in the world of rock and roll, it was the band's effort to alleviate the creative frustrations of members Ace Frehley and Peter Criss, who felt that they were being underrepresented on the band's records. We had taken it musically as far as I thought we could take it, as a foursome, and I needed to do my own thing. Ace Frehley would say in 2001, and though his was the most successful of the four members' solo records, on the strength of the hit single New York Groove, which reached 13 on Billboard's Hot 100 chart, overall, sales were disappointing. We all expected it to be huge, and we got caught in our own trap. Former Kiss manager Bill Aucoin would say in 2001,
although they all sold very well, they all sold somewhere around 600,000 copies, which at that point was an enormous amount of records. Neil Bogart had the idea that he would ship 4 million. Unfortunately, that left about 1.6 million albums floating around in record stores.
So the band decided that they needed to regroup and return to the studio in early 1979 to record the album Dynasty. Released on May 23rd of that year, the record would be billed as the return of Kiss and featured the smash single I Was Made for Loving You, which drew the consternation of many of the group's hardcore fans because of its disco beat. It was a very big song around the world. Paul Stanley would say in 2003, disco was so big, I listened to that stuff and said, this is a cinch to write. I said, I'll write one of those songs. It's a real formula song. It was like, let's use everything on dance records. Let's use all the sound effects. It was kind of like trying to make a point to ourselves that it's not that hard to have a hit if you're willing to really analyze something and pick it apart. We don't do that very often. Desmond Child was involved with that, and so was album producer Vinnie Poncia. And though the song would reach number 1 in several countries and number 8 on the US Cashbox Top 100, not only did it draw consternation from the band's fans, but some of its members as well. In fact, bassist Gene Simmons has referred to it as one of his least favorite Kiss songs.
I want to tell you a story about Paul walks in, 79 or so, got a new song. And in the beginning, by the way, we traded ideas and kind of co-wrote and stuff, and then we went off on our own. So he walks in, I got a song for you. What's it called? I Was Made for Loving You. Oh, that's great. What's the first line? Tonight. Ooh, that's good. What's the second line? I want to give it all to you. Oh, yeah, I know what it is. That's cool. In the darkness, that rocks. Yeah, what? It's something I want to do. That's really cool. What's my part? Do, 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 do. No, come on. I'm doing God of Thunder. What's my part?
You were upset.
And lead guitarist Ace Frehley has shared a similar sentiment regarding the tune I Was Made for Loving You. You see, Ace's album was the most metallic sounding and most well received of the four Kiss members' solo efforts by the group's hardcore fans, who were probably hoping the band's follow-up would be situated more in the hard rock realm. I hate disco, Ace would say in 2001. We gained a whole new fan base, but the hardcore heavy metal fans were really turned off by it. But now I want to take a look back at some rare old footage from just following the release of Dynasty, and it's really funny to hear Ace Frehley towing the company line, so to speak, and singing the praises of I Was Made for Loving You. Let's take a look.
Ace, could you explain why you changed from rock to disco?
I don't really think we made any drastic change. I think the song you're referring to as disco is really rock disco. But the majority of the album, I think, is rock still. You know, I think you know, different styles of music on the record. We do rock disco, we've done ballads like Beth.
The song I Was Made for Loving You is the first song that made it on the charts in Holland. So do you think that rock disco is appealing to a different audience than the pure rock?
Now, I'm not sure about Holland, but in the United States right now, disco is dying out a little more, and rock and roll is starting to come back a lot stronger. So who knows what will happen within 6 months in Holland.
The whole idea for us was to do a song that fit the category and was still pretty true to what we do. It must have been the right move because it's either one or two around the world.
Okay, I gotta stop. What's with Paul Stanley's voice here? Is this some kind of put on? Is he trying to be like the midnight DJ? Paul's voice is not that deep. It's never been that deep.
You know, discotheques are real popular now, and people are getting out there and dancing, and you know, music with a strong danceable beat, you know, is really popular now. So
It's still rock and roll.
but it's still rock and roll, in my opinion. You know, well, I think disco's really hot. You know.
Okay, so I don't know if you noticed that little laugh by Ace at the end, almost kind of a sarcastic laugh. But here you go, Ace, really downplaying the disco elements in I Was Made for Loving You. Really towing the company line, trying to put forth this, oh no, it's rock disco. It's not disco, when we really know. And then at the end when he says disco is hot, he goes from saying disco's dying out, you know, it's kind of rock and roll, but disco is hot. It's like he can't even make up his own mind. It's like he wants to come out and say, I think the song sucks, I hate disco, but he can't really say it, especially not with Gene and Paul sitting right there. But funny to look back, now knowing how Ace feels about that tune, to hear him towing the company line and saying nice things about I Was Made for Loving You. And I know Ace has also complained that that was a tough song to perform because of that relentless part in that song, the up and down stroke part of that, and he said his wrist would get sore during performing that song. But that's the video. As always, please let me know your thoughts in the comments as they pertain to the topics discussed hitherto. I hope you dug it, man, and we'll see you next time.
This year.